Flows Advisory Committee, Thursday, December 11, 2025. I'm Steve Jones, and I'm the chair.
Amanda Kelly.
Ann Hohenberger.
Bill Campbell.
Mary Teagle.
Keith Whitehouse.
Absent and promised to be coming soon will be Deb Skerritz and Jen Martell. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, the minutes. First of all,
I looked at them, I would, unless somebody has any additions, I move that we approve them as presented.
very good.
I'll second that.
There's a motion, a second, discussion? Additions, deletions, amendments? None. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. So moved. We need a clerk.
Ann volunteered me. I'll be forever,
You're
please.
Well,
voluntold.
she's missed some meetings, so she has to make up.
Oh, no. Whoa, that's rough.
I was checking out parks in Portland, Oregon.
Ooh,
Pretty
yes.
cool.
she was working.
So an update on the Budget Recommendations Committee proceedings. As you know, they voted down our request for a CIP item and the $35,000 net. To my view, this doesn't change really much of anything. We're still fundraising and we still have a lot of money to fundraise.
For the record, that was a result of proceedings with the select board?
Budget recommendation
Budget
committee.
Recommendations Committee.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
BRC.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Nico.
Steve,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm fine. You had something to say.
Thank you. And I apologize, I have to leave in about 15 or 20 minutes for another engagement. I wanted to come this evening to, first of all, thank you for the work that you've done since the committee was implemented. You've done everything that the Select Board had asked of you. We went through a charge and a mission statement, and 4 of the 5 Select Board members were at the CIP night before the BRC, and I thought the presentation by the committee was fantastic. I think it was very detailed. It was very thorough. Obviously, we have the Budget Recommendations Committee there to vet the budget and make recommendations to the Select Board, but as far as presentation goes, I thought it was a fantastic presentation. It was everything that I felt that you needed to tell them. I felt that you gave them all of the data that they needed. And frankly, I didn't think that one of the questions that they asked was particularly fair. That was not within your scope. It wasn't within your charge, and I don't think it certainly could have been any information that anybody could ascertain yet, and that was in regarding the maintenance. Obviously, it would be hard to estimate the annual cost of maintenance when we haven't built anything yet. So for me, I'm just speaking for myself as the chair of the Select Board. I just want to thank you for the presentation. I want to thank you for the work that you've done and the commitment to move forward. Regarding the budget process, at this point, the BRC made their recommendations for the whole budget just this past Monday night. The budget hearing will be January 20th. That's the third Tuesday in January. We'll have 2 select board meetings between then, December 22nd and January 5th. And that will be an opportunity for the select board to go over any parts of the budget that they want to talk about. The select board could have the opportunity to add to the budget, take away from the budget, sort of. Historically, we don't like to, we usually take the Budget Recommendation Committee's advisement. I think there is maybe 1 or 2 times that I can think of in the last couple of years where, we sort of tweak things, but certainly my plan is to at least bring up for discussion your CIP article. Does that mean it's going to go on? I don't know. But I feel that given what we asked of you and what you did, that it's worth at least the select board having a discussion about your warrant article. The BRC did everything, within their purview, and, and that's the recommendation they made, and that's fair. That's why we have the BRC. But I also think that it would be fair for the board to at least discuss your presentation and what you're proposing. So two things I want to accomplish tonight is just to inform you of that. Whether it goes anywhere or not, who knows? But I wanted you to know that I'm very thankful for your presentation. I'm very thankful for your professionalism, and I'm very thankful for what you've done so far. So thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you for what you're.
Question, Steve.
Yes.
What would be the thought about having a citizen's petition to put this on the warrant? We did that with the Rains Farm when the selectmen voted it down the first time, and we went and got a citizen petition, and the next time we brought it to the select board. I wasn't on it then. I was just a peon down in the ranks. And we brought it and they said, okay, 3-2 will recommend it. And we got the money and got the Rains Farm, which I felt and still feel is one of the gems that we've done. Now, I don't know whether we want to go through something like getting the necessary signatures on the petition or not. My only feeling is it kind of holds us up for a year. And unless we want to kind of take a hiatus for a year, I mean, I'll come to a meeting every month and raise my hand for logos and whatever. But I really would like to see it move a little quicker than another more year.
If you're asking for my perspective?
Anybody's.
Any perspective. So anyone else's perspective?
What information? How many signatures would be required, and what's the time frame?
25 signatures, at least 25 signatures. I'll have to get you the date, but it's usually probably that first week in January,
Oh, yeah.
so it's
So we
early.
have time.
And certainly, that's your right as a citizen.
I'll speak as the chair. I'm not sure this changes much, the vote of the BRC. It's going to take us months, perhaps. I don't know how many months, and I can't promise how many months. But I do know that there are folks and organizations who are willing and eager to contribute. And would we get $40,000 in 6 months? Maybe that's aggressive. Maybe that's possible. I don't know. But it's a good goal.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 months would bring us pretty close to what we would be if we had a budget article, which would certainly speed things up and make things simpler. But it doesn't mean that there isn't the support out there for the park and for design and engineering phase, which is the next step.
Second idea I had was to go back to them with a lesser budget, and with the idea that, you're thinking of raising $40,000 just by us, by the committee, not from our committee, but going out. If it was 20,000, would it be any different? And
I don't know. What we offered was $5,000 and anything else we could raise. That's what we offered. And they said, why don't you shave? And I said, why don't you shave that cost? And I didn't respond. I suppose I can respond now that, we promised $5,000. That's a minimal promise. And we promised to go for more, which we continue to do.
I think one thing That's interesting about what Nico just said is, I think Nico may have understood our exact proposal better and may be more committed to extending our exact proposal. There was some confusion or manufactured confusion about what we were asking for, in my opinion. So we were asking for $35,000. You know, it's total 40, we're going to commit to 5. That was very confusing. Also, it was brought up that we were actually going to be asking for $400,000, and they wanted to shut it down before we asked for $400,000.
Where'd that come from?
Watch the video. But Nico understands that's not what we're asking for. So I'm really heartened by what Nico's saying, that they're going to look at it independently, because those 2 points plus the maintenance point were really frustrating. And so if Nico's saying that they're going to just look at the actual proposal themselves, I think that that's far and away an amazing best case scenario that I didn't anticipate. And maybe now that it's been brought up like this once, maybe town members will get more used to the language. But yeah, that's my take.
So go ahead.
Well said.
Right?
Is there any merit in having any of us show up or have some of the park fans show up at the select board meeting?
I was going to ask. So when's the meeting?
So let's get back to, then this is just informational because I'm not advocating one way or the other. That's
Right.
not my job. But a citizen's petition is due in the town clerk's office on the second Tuesday in January. That's by statute. And it requires 25 signatures of registered Exeter voters. And I would just caution that if anybody were to do that, particularly where you're asking to raise and appropriate money, there's very specific legalese that the article needs to be written very carefully for it to be binding.
And where do we get that info?
I'm sure if you went on the New Hampshire RSA and hunted around.
Okay.
We'd need advice, really, because it doesn't pre-exist.
Right. That's the second Tuesday of,
And there may be samples that you can work off of. So then back to the question that was just asked of me, the board will be meeting December 22nd and January 5th. They're open public meetings, as you know. But I'm going to say that the presentation has been made to the select board previously. The presentation has been made. Obviously, we love to have the Novak room full for our meetings, so come on in. But the deliberation would be amongst the board discussing the budget. We probably wouldn't be taking input in. That is at the budget hearing meeting, which is January 20th, is when we'd be looking for public feedback. But certainly, come join us and listen in. And the two reasons why I want to bring that up for discussion is I think that we asked the committee to do something, you did it, and it's worth a discussion. And I don't know, and I want to be very clear that I don't know that that means that there'll be any changes made, but I think it's worth a discussion.
I think that's amazing.
So,
It's very
Thank you.
respectful.
thank you.
Very much.
You're welcome.
Steve.
Yes, Mary.
Point of order, because Nico has to leave fairly soon, do we want to rearrange the agenda? Is there anything on the agenda that caught your eye
No,
that we should,
no. I arranged the agenda specifically with Nico.
with that in mind?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Was that any more discussion before?
I understand what you said. I like what you said. I don't know whether the petition with citizens' signatures would add more to the weight or not, but I know it worked once. That's all I know.
Yeah, I think it's always good to know we have it as a town, as a resident, just generally speaking, it's always good to know that it exists. I think in this case, these meetings are ahead of that deadline. So maybe we just wait and see what happens.
Okay.
And we would have a little bit of time left over if we decided to go that route. Not advocating for or against it, just saying there would be time.
Good. I know select boards have various opinions. I mean, we changed one vote that day, and that was great. Okay, let's go with that.
Anything else?
What do we do in the meantime? Should we,
Fundraise.
Fundraise, we have a lot of fundraising activities.
and in our meetings, why don't we put that on the agenda for January?
Which?
Given that we're not on a schedule to receive funds from the town, our doings at the meetings may well change a bit, and I would like to talk about that in January.
We can talk about that in January. My opinion is they're not going to change at all.
Right,
That's the bottom line. We're
but-
still fundraising. We're still going to approach the same people. We're still got the same tasks in front of us.
Yeah, Bill and I worked on a letter already.
Yeah.
We did that. I wrote a grant, he wrote a
I
grant.
stand my ground, because there are things that we can be doing that we should all weigh in on and know about.
Okay. I'll talk with you in the interim, and
Yep.
we'll discuss that. Then moving on to the next item on the agenda, logos.
Something fun.
Something fun. Heron in flight, not loon, heron in flight. This is from Amanda. You want to speak about this, Amanda? Thank you,
Yeah, so I like the heron that we, had started with.
Heron's gonna get there some way.
It's perfect, right? It's great. It makes sense. They're always in the river. I iterated this in 2 ways, one rectangular, one circular. So I think Steve has both of them. If you want to scroll.
I don't have both
Oh, okay.
up, yeah.
Well, there is a circular version. No, it's this exact thing in a circular version.
Oh, okay.
I'll pass my phone around.
Is it this one?
No, it's not in the packet.
It's
Oh,
on the packet.
there we go.
So it looks like that, in circle. So, depending on whether you wanted to put, it just depends on the piece of paper or what it's going on. Sometimes you
Like
need a
that.
rectangle, sometimes you need a
Like
circle. I left space if it becomes Pairpoint Ecological Park, or if ecological gets put in somewhere at some point, that can happen, or we can put in the word Exeter or the word Exeter, New Hampshire. So I don't think that that's something we have to decide on the logo, right? We can change 3 words depending on what happens in the future. But that's why there's kind of some extra space in the bottom there, as well as in the circle, there's extra space. Park is centered, but we could slide park to the side easily. So yeah, it's a digital rendering of a wood block carving. I can hand carve that as a line of cut if we want. Or we could just use the digital one. But if we feel that gives it more character and more substance, I'm happy to do
This
that.
is plenty for me, but what do other people, any
Well, I
other
like all
opinions?
3 of them. I think they're wonderful, but Amanda, I showed my husband, he said, well, by far, this one. And he doesn't know you, so,
Okay.
yes.
How about I show the other 2 and
Yes,
just say,
please.
this is to send a recommendation to the select board, who will have to accept a logo.
Right.
This is not a sign of the park, this is just a logo. This is what Joe Stagnone produced.
And maybe we could use that some way,
Yes,
somehow.
and this vote does not have to be just one logo. It could be more than one. This is on the fundraising video.
Okay,
Yeah, it opens and closes with this
perfect place.
logo, yes. And this is Maisie's from,
Who brought us the GBH, the Great Blue Heron, so,
yeah,
Yep.
which was wonderful.
yeah.
It just looks a little tropical to me, and I really like yours. I don't know why it looks tropical.
Well, it's because of the stylized plant in the background,
Maybe,
to my
maybe.
opinion. Yeah. So,
The others look more natural, I think.
I just like the way you fill the space, and, coming outside the space into the border. I like that.
Yeah.
any other opinions, thoughts?
Well, I would be remiss not to apply my earlier question Is that a bona fide?
Yes,
Looks a
it
little-
is.
This one
This
looks.
is that's a blue heron.
That
That is
one
a, yeah, now it is a logo.
That one
Well,
looks a little different, but
It's a bona
if you
fide.
can
heron.
convince me, I'll go.
It's bona fide.
It's
It
based
is.
off
It is.
a photograph.
Yeah,
Of a
yeah,
blue heron.
Yeah.
I mean, but I
Okay,
drew
good.
it.
Oh, did you?
I'm not an ornithologist,
Yeah.
but I am.
You're an
But it's
artist.
based off a photograph, and then it's a hand drawing, so it's no longer a,
You drew that?
I love the
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
it's
So
outlined.
it's,
You have many talents.
yes, she has
She
many talents.
does. That's another little,
so, yeah, it's lost certain things in my hand.
But it is a logo version of a blue heron.
Yeah, it's an illustration.
and I like that it's
not a
an
photograph.
action, not a, stagnant
Yeah.
picture. I like that.
I like the circular one that you showed on
Yeah,
your
the
phone.
the circle's
Both
great.
of them are good.
Yeah.
One could be a letterhead,
Yeah,
one could be on
I
a
think
cup.
this,
Yes.
Yeah, it extends more into the border there too, which is fun.
Or on a T-shirt.
On
or
a T-shirt.
Sweatshirt.
Yeah,
Or button.
Or a button.
Yeah, I would say
bumper sticker.
the
Yeah, I saw.
I love what you did. It's and I think that the distinction of a logo, something that feels like it's representative, but also is kind of replicated in a few, it has some malleability to how it can be used, but the image itself is representative, and this there's a dynamism with the simplicity. There's lots of detail of it in there, which is why I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm very impressed with with the quality of artistry that you demonstrated. Even though I think some people who might not look at that degree of detail, like clearly you know what it is, and in the background, that for me looks like it's the lines in the background look like the water. And,
That's what it's supposed to
and while I really appreciate the level of detail here, this feels more like a portrait. It feels like it's so detailed. It might be difficult to represent if you are mass producing in a few different ways. I don't print T-shirts, on the regular, but this feels like it would be a lot more detail to represent in lots of places. So I really appreciate them all. If I had to vote for one that we would use in lots of different spaces, then I would vote for Amanda's.
The other thing we can do is, obviously I chose this color, but depending on what it was on, that color can be swapped out really easily, just if it works better somewhere without losing the same feel. It's okay for the color to change, so.
Any other comments?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, yeah.
So I'll make a comment. Whatever we vote, there'll be a series of preliminary votes, like one item, if you just want one item, just informally, and then we'll make a motion. On that motion should be that this is accepted for the purposes of our fundraising video, because we're going live with our fundraising video maybe tomorrow. So if we could add that to whatever motion we make, that would be my recommendation. So do you want to do 1, 2, or just?
this one looks a little bit too unnatural. Of
It's
course,
a
now you
lovely
wouldn't find
photograph.
that kind of water coming down the river.
Looks like
But even in
the
a,
ocean.
it has to be quite,
But it's going to be
But just
used.
for the purposes of the fundraising video.
That I could do.
Yeah,
So-
that only, yeah.
Lest the public be confused, can whatever logo we choose tonight, which is likely to be this one, be inserted in the video and the relevant
I can't promise.
websites?
I can't promise.
Website, yes,
Because
just not
it's
into the video.
Just having done public relations for various things,
I can't
people are
promise.
confused.
I can't promise.
Can we pursue it? I mean, it's,
I can pursue it, but I can't promise it. Joe Stagnone produced the video.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
please note, I also said on the town's website,
Yes,
where it continues to
That's
talk
easy.
about.
that's
the-
easy. That's
Just
easy.
the video.
Just the
Okay,
video.
That's fine.
Because we
Yeah.
didn't make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I just, because this is strong,
Thank you.
and it's so different from that. They'll think that we have like two different versions of committees. that
Can't
they
wait
have.
till we get stickers.
I'll entertain a motion.
I move, go for it.
I move that we vote on adopting this logo for the purposes of the PR video.
Amanda's logo for the purposes of PR, okay?
Not the video.
No.
The other one,
For the
for the PR video.
the Joe Stagnone's logo for the
Yes,
purposes of
yes,
the
for the purposes of the video, the promotional video in which it is already
I need
included.
to write this down so that we all understand in the future and now. So, please.
I move that we vote for inclusion of Joe's Pairpoint Ecological Park logo for inclusion in the PR video in which it is currently contained.
I second.
Okay, we'll do two.
I'll second it.
Motion moved and second.
We both did.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All abstaining? None. Very good. So second motion?
I
I'll entertain a
move
second.
that we adopt the two versions of Amanda's logo for our park sign, our letterhead, our stationery, our buttons,
Coffee cups,
that
stickers.
it be the logo. That it show up,
promotional
all of the
PR.
information and promotional
information and promotional.
identification.
Perfect.
Second. Keith is seconded.
Everything else.
Is
We
there any
voting on that
discussion?
one?
Yeah, both versions.
Oh, well, that one and
And the circle.
The round.
Okay, the circle, yeah.
Any discussion? Because we've had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Unanimous.
Yeah, I said
I
aye.
voted aye.
I said
voted in
aye.
favor.
Thank
I
you.
didn't say aye, but I
Thanks for
voted
letting me
Well
work on it
done.
after last meeting.
Well done.
Can you get copies of both of them to us?
I got
Please?
copies of one to you, and I'll get the copy of the other.
Yeah,
That'd be
you already
great.
have it.
I don't know where.
I'll send it to you.
Thanks.
We
my
do have
computer.
it somewhere.
The
I texted it to
extensive,
you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
That doesn't count.
extensive
That was a sneak
library.
peek.
Okay, the point of ecological park. So what I sent to you was the result of a lot of online research, which boils down to a couple of points to keep in mind. There is no universally adopted definition of an ecological park. So if you go to Cairo, you go to Jakarta, you go to Tokyo, you'll get slightly different definitions. You're agreeing, you're nodding your head.
I'm looking at your.
Yes, yeah, okay. I was gonna say, wow, she's in the know.
I was not pining.
That's the first point. The second point is from an MIT dissertation in 2006, and I gave you the source.
And I scanned it. It was a vast document.
It is a vast document. It is a vast document. But the conclusions can be narrowed down to just a few lines. Usually, ecological parks have a natural, a restorative, and an educational feature. Those three features. Both of these definitions, Mary's proposal and Amanda's proposal, offer us all three options. A natural spot, a spot where you can relax and refresh, that's restorative, and educational components. So given that background, I'll open it up for discussion. That's what I found.
Did you want to share the revised definition?
I
The
would-
two proposals? or what?
Yeah, before that, I'm sure that this comes up in your work, Jen. I would
Yeah.
like
This is your revised.
Oh, this one is the revised.
This one's your revised.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
In the minutes.
I understand.
Yeah,
Sorry,
okay.
I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Jen, what's your take on it? Because this is part of your work.
Yeah, I think, I mean, my initial take was that, like, an ecological park to me is like, there's some kind of restoration happening. I'm not going to pretend that in 3,600 square feet, we're going to be doing any significant or impactful restoration on this land. The land is a garbage urban infill site. It's detached from the river by a retaining wall made of concrete. We're going to have to add a lot of rocks and concrete and steel and wood to it to make it be a place that is accessible to people. So in the sense of like we're not restoring anything. What we are doing is we're providing an opportunity for people to learn about the river and to experience the river in a way that they've never been able to before. So is that an ecological park? I don't know. Like I kind of, you know, based on the definitions, I would probably say not really. I mean, I think it's kind of a, you know, people were confused about our ask.
Yes.
I feel like this
Yeah.
might confuse people also, just the wording of it, and I don't know. I personally, I like the acronym PEP, and I have no issue with it. I mean, if that's what everyone wants, I'm not gonna like say it's a bad idea, but I also think it's like a little bit of like overselling what we're doing.
Okay.
Just to be, I'm pragmatic.
So that's why I've been wondering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Other
Because
comments?
we
I
can-
think keeping it simpler is better. I'm not opposed to this, much like to echo what Jen said. I just think keeping it simple.
Just Pairpoint Park.
Simple,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I concur with Jen, and I think it's a little bit of overkill for a 3,000-foot little piece of land. If we had a 30-acre piece, I think then we're talking about a possible ecological. But 3,000 square feet doesn't seem to me to do it. It's sort of boasting too much, I think.
Any other comments?
Yes.
Deb?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, Deb
Yeah.
Yeah.
is poised.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to remember if one of the reasons that Ecological Park came up was for fundraising. Were there distinctive opportunities
Yeah.
in that? Because in that context, if there is not one common definition, I feel like, you know, for me, it's important to be like authentic to the spirit of what a definition is, if we're then going to go pursue grant funding for it. And based on what I've heard so far, I'm skeptical that the park would meet those intentions.
It wasn't for any specific grants. So there would be no grant for an ecological park or no grant that would give it's going to make it specially because it's an ecological park. It was for differentiation within the town. So we have all these parks, I don't know how many it is, 8, 9. Another park, what's special and distinctive about this park?
It's not a playground. But, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
We have other parks that aren't a playground.
But it's distinguished, say, from Planet Playground or the ball fields and soccer fields
Yeah.
and pitches.
Just more from a PR advertising perspective.
No,
Give money, give your
Yeah, I
$5
wanna
for
go
this
back-
type of park, a park that is for nature.
I wasn't here when.
And we have to use Pairpoint and park. Otherwise, we could say Pairpoint, natural space, right? But we can't, we have to, it had to be putting a word that fit with Pairpoint and park.
Pocket park.
Can I,
Pocket.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a pocket park. It's a little,
It is.
it's a little green respite in an urban location. You know, there's there's the traffic, there's the people, there's the shopping, there's the hubbub of downtown. And, you know, cities get these little pocket parks where it's like you kind of stumble upon it and it's like, this
Okay.
cool green space where you can
Yeah.
take a little rest. I mean, that's.
It doesn't need to be in
that's
the
what it is to
name,
me.
on the name or on the logo, but just we're
Pairpoint
calling it.
Park.
But it
A
needs,
little alliteration there.
I wasn't here when you discussed the use of the term in conjunction with fundraising. I wasn't at that meeting. I brought it up months ago, not using that term. I didn't use the term natural either, but it was on the basis of what I brought to the committee in the first place, which is a passionate and informed environmental outlook. So, I'm not quite done. And then I went and talked with the people involved in the Great Bay and the protection of the Seven Rivers. And they told me outright, we're not in a position to dictate. They're too busy to join our committee is another way of saying that. But they did say, be careful of your drainage, retain runoff on site. If you can treat the drainage that you receive from the street, great. And anyone who has done gardening, landscape gardening, organic gardening, which is probably everybody, at least a little bit at this table, knows that it probably also includes, I'm going to say, zero use of chemicals to treat the plants, whether it's pesticides, herbicides, all the sides, and that we plant native plants, truly native, that are going to thrive on that site. So that's the meat of the park, in my opinion. The pitching it as an ecological park is part of the sizzle, and it's cool. You know, it's great. But the meat is what I just tried to articulate and did articulate to the best of my ability in my alternative modified version of what it means. So if we aren't going to call it an ecological park, I'm fine with that. But I do want to come together and agree on certain elements of the park that are true to, well, I sensed it was fairly uniform desire earlier to make it a really eco-healthy place. So I want that to be documented and put forward. It has to do with its design. Well, it has to do with the engineering, the design, the construction, and the maintenance. So I want that. I would love to see that go forward in what we recommend to the select board.
We don't have anything else to recommend to myself.
Pardon?
We don't have to recommend anything to the select board.
It's all done.
Yeah.
It's
If-
not
if-
all done.
You mean to the architect?
Well, it has some bearing on what the engineers will be looking for too.
Right.
Yeah.
The architect
So-
and the engineer.
Yeah.
Right.
Is what you meant,
And
instead of
it
select
should
board.
be, I mean, if I were my own client, if I were Jen's client, I'll make it simpler. I would say, everything we've talked about and what I just talked about. It needs to be documented on the record, because otherwise it's a ship of fools to send it off, because
To send what off?
to send it off without
What is the it?
specifying what I was just trying to
But what's the
articulate.
it? What are we sending?
That the park,
No, but the it is a noun.
The proposal, or what?
What are you talking
yeah,
about?
our recommendation would be to use sound, recognized,
So it is a
for lack
recommendation
of a better
to the
word,
engineer
organic processes
and landscape architect.
that protects and possibly protects, I feel like I should.
I think
Well, Mary, we're trying to talk about-
The RFP maybe,
Yeah,
like
you're
the
talking
description of the project.
We're
gonna
not
have to
talking about the RFP.
Describe we're gonna have to, the town is gonna issue an RFP, which I'm hoping we'll have input into, which will describe the park, the concept design, and the program. And that is where we can talk about all
Right.
those things. And then,
But-
during the
Yeah.
design process,
Yeah.
we'll.
The
that'll sort of be
RFP, so the
check.
noun is RFP, is what you were trying to say.
No.
RFP, the acronym for,
The
Request for proposal.
Proposal, no, the noun is
It's more
that,
fundamental, is what I'm hearing.
the
Well,
noun
she keeps
is
saying it. It
specific.
needs to have this, but there's no document, there's no it other than an RFP.
I think that's our next chance to sort
No.
of specify.
I agree it's the RFP,
Yeah,
but I didn't want to put words in
specify-
her mouth.
No, you did, and it's,
We're trying to do an up-down on ecological. Can we finish that first?
Well,
well,
here's
no,
what,
I'm not going to close the book on it until I feel like, I know that Jen understands, and I think Ann and Keith do, on the, and probably Steve, because I know we.
I'm down on ecological if everybody wants that. I'm trying to just up-down ecological, which is our
I'm
agenda item.
Bringing it around to how ecological came into our discussion in the first place.
But the agenda item is up-down on, do we want the word ecological? And that's a whole huge conversation for the RFP. That's not on the agenda tonight.
That is true. That is true.
So I
This
would
is
like to move
up-down
along with the agenda
Are
for
we in
tonight.
ecological park?
I didn't read it that way.
Yeah.
To use it in our label,
Yep, that's it.
is it an ecological park? Also means, is it an ecological park? And that's my question.
Sounds like it's a no.
No, those features that
Can
I
someone make
talked
a motion?
about are not that complicated. In fact, they make the management of the park easier once everyone comes to terms on the specifications. I want to see this idea of calling it an ecological park tied to our original vision, which we talked about early on, about protecting the river, protecting the environment, and doing everything right in that park. Because with the other parks, and Keith probably knows this to the letter, I believe there are uses of pesticides and herbicides, probably very light, limited. And I know that none of the parks were designed with water filtration in mind, because they're too old. This is new stuff. Except the Romans did it a long time ago, but anyway. So I just want to make sure that carries forward. And I interpreted the agenda question, Amanda, in the way I'm trying to describe.
Okay.
right
I'd like
now.
to make a motion that we do not call it an ecological park.
It fits nicely on Joe's logo. I
Sure,
thought the-
but
But I agree.
Yours too.
That's my motion.
I'll
Okay,
second
second.
that.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion? We've had plenty. Okay, all in favor of the motion, which is not
Not.
an ecological park, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? One.
I would prefer that it be, that the motion, I'm sorry if I'm not
So
following.
that's
can't
not-
change a
you can't
motion.
change it, it's up. So you
That's-
do vote yes or no?
The word would be that we don't call it an ecological park.
Yeah, but we can
And that's
pursue
not what
it
the
in
motion
other ways.
says.
Yeah.
A proposal.
So
You can't change a motion that's seconded and being voted on.
all opposed?
You can make another one afterwards.
I'm going to oppose just because it's unclear.
Okay.
Okay.
So moved, though, that we are not an ecological park. That doesn't mean that we can't have future discussions about what.
What we want in the RFP,
What we
which
want.
I want all the things Mary wants,
Yeah.
but that's not on the agenda for tonight.
And
Right,
we can
well, and I
use-
don't want it to fall into the cracks
Yeah.
because it's
I don't think it will. I think we
No,
all
it's
agreed
not.
on that like 20 times already. We're all on the same
Good.
page as you. You're not trying to convince us of anything.
Good. It
yeah.
felt like it, but good.
But we're trying to talk about one thing tonight. Thank you.
So, and we can use this thesis definition to help guide us
In
as
the
we go
RFP.
through the RFP.
Great.
And Jen.
Yeah.
And Keith and Deb and everyone else. Okay, on to donations. Going to try to move very quickly. First of all, Anne, could you announce our first donation?
400 buckaroos.
Oh, good.
Yes, in the hands of the town.
Awesome.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's the first of many, and I hope large. So
More zeros.
I will announce, because this is
Yeah.
this is televised, I will not use organization or person names in this meeting.
Not yet.
However, in subcommittee meetings, we will have discussions on exact names, exact organizations or corporate entities that we are seeking donations from. And there are several.
Good.
Now, on the coordinated go live, we are all set to go live, and Greg is ready to throw the switch. Bob Glowacki will be the one who coordinates the town webpage, maybe tomorrow. I don't know, I can't promise. But the webpage will go up very soon with donations. It is, we are limited by the technology available to us. So folks on the webpage will be, there'll be a couple web pages. One web page, which is the sort of splash web page that you see first, and the next is the actual donations web page, which takes credit cards. So you have to establish an account, but you can donate by credit card. We're recommending that, and I will pass out to you the article that goes in the front of, this will go with the webpage. So, there they go.
Thank you.
This article, which has been approved by Greg, and we've gone through extensively. And Jen, thank you very much for your work here.
Oh,
Yeah, well, it's important. So we get lots of pictures that will be on the town website showing what the concept is. And we make very clear that these are donations. If you're going to make it by check, make it to the town of Exeter and mail it to Exeter Parks and Recreation. Attention, Pairpoint Park donation. 10 Hampton Road, Exeter, New Hampshire, 03833. There, I just made our first public service announcement. And if you're going to make a donation in excess of $1,000, we recommend that it be by check, because there is a service fee for using the credit card, and a service fee on a $5,000 donation would be hefty.
Yeah, 3%, I think.
Yeah. So we give the donation levels, and we will acknowledge through appropriate signage in the park, whether it's a plaque or otherwise, everyone who gives, over $50 at the various levels. We have the concept as we've laid it out. It's up for the architect and engineer to refine that and meticulously add drawings, which we think can use for further grants for the construction. So we have donations webpage, an article on the webpage, a fundraising video, a press release, which is essentially the same thing, which I'm working with Seacoast Online to go out. And that's the announcement. So, huge amount of work, but all going live very soon. Plus the banner in Pairpoint Park. There's not only your banner, thank you for that, but Joe Stagnon's banner, which has a QR code, and will take people to the webpage.
When is that scheduled to go up?
The banner?
Yeah.
If we go live with the webpage tomorrow, I'm going to ask Joe Stagnon to put it up as soon as possible.
So is the rec department gonna handle that with helping? It's gonna be frozen ground, it's gonna be,
No, he already
Oh,
put the
he
stanchions
already
in.
put the stanchions.
stanchions are in, so
Yeah.
you're just gonna put it up?
Yeah, I just put it on.
I didn't notice the stanchions, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
great.
Somebody signs blocking the stanchions.
Yeah, it's upper crust.
It's all good, it's all good, it's all good.
Yes, excellent.
Steve,
That's okay, we don't want to see the stanchions right
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
my earlier comments just came home to roost.
Yes?
I believe that if we mean business about the ecological character of our park, whether we use that word or not, it needs to be in this webpage and on the press release, because it's part of the hook to the people. There are people in this town who feel very strongly about ecological, environmental, stewardship type things, and if we mean business, it needs to be.
We can alter
This
this
is-
page.
It needs to be.
Edited any,
Yeah, it needs,
Any minute.
I say edit it now.
we don't have
Put some-
content written.
I do, it's right here, it's one of our definitions. It can be modified slightly, get rid of the word ecological. We intend for this park to be a green space that people can enjoy, blah, blah, blah. Both of us have that. And anyway, I think it belongs on the pitch to people to contribute.
Thoughts on
Because
that?
it will be important to some people, not just,
Not necessarily an ecological park, but a green space that people can enjoy as a potentially vision for the park.
and that it has features conserve the natural environment. Otherwise, it's just greenwash. I can rewrite it to fit in a press release and float it to see if it passes muster with everyone.
I would love more time on that since it's just brought up right now.
Yeah, we would need to vote on it next meeting.
Definitely.
Definitely.
As long as it's not a stray puppy that ends up disappearing.
Doesn't have to be.
I feel very strongly about it, and I'm sorry it's not in this original, our first website for fundraising. I think it should be.
Had to get voted on tonight.
Yes, exactly.
Well, you see, it goes back to my understanding of the agenda item, that it would be, are we an ecological park?
Deb?
Yeah, I got to go to my daughter's concert, but I agree that I think the paragraph is written. It states the facts of what we are doing. What it lacks is any kind of individual compelling character beyond people who just right now say, oh, I know about Pairpoint Park and I can't wait to donate. It fails to attract people with something that will make this distinctive about a park. And yeah, so
Yeah, I think we should.
sign me up for wordsmithing or whatever for however long it takes, but I agree,
Thank you,
we're
Deb.
going to be lacking until then.
Yeah.
Have fun at the concert.
Pine cones. I'll be singing pine cones in my head for
Yeah, that's a,
weeks now.
that's good. Very
That's one of the
good.
songs.
Yeah.
It'll come home
It's
to
a hit.
roost
All right.
when you're a grandfather.
Okay, so
We still have a quorum?
we still have a quorum.
Good.
Informally, we don't need to vote on this. Are you interested in submitting something as well?
I'm happy with what I wrote.
Okay.
It's the
Then.
second draft.
Yep. Mary, let's, you and Dev work through me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so it
and-
matches the tone of the press release
Yeah,
and the
okay. All right.
website.
And then whatever we adopt, we'll use that in other documents as well.
Good, thanks. I just don't want it to get left.
I
on
was
the
never
wayside.
against it. It's a point of order.
So there it is. It's going to go in here.
Great.
Fundraising newsletter does have some more emotional appeal.
But it doesn't have this, so we
It
can
doesn't
add
have
it.
this, yeah.
It's not written yet. It can't be added if it's not been written.
And this will need to be approved by, I think, Melissa.
Yes.
Roy. So this is
This is a fundraising letter.
fundraising letter.
Sure, logo.
It says placeholder. I'll delete that now.
I'm sorry I couldn't get this out to you in advance.
I just wrote it.
uh,
Actually, Bill started it.
Bill.
Yeah, but you
started-
ended it, it's good.
So thank you to Bill.
Thank you so much to
Amanda.
Bill for getting us started, really.
Yeah.
Bill did a lot of research, and he wrote several drafts and sent lots of copy to get started from. So I really thank you, Bill, very, very much.
Thanks.
Don't ask a mathematician to write something
You
in
did.
English.
It was excellent.
I think isn't the restaurant called Il Cornicione?
It is called,
Cornicione.
it is called Il Cornicione.
It just looked weird because you can't tell the difference between the I and the L.
I know.
And people call it cornicello.
I know.
So I did that
Oh.
as a, otherwise it's just going to like 2 lines next to it.
I know, but it was my restaurant. I want people to,
Okay.
if they were naming it, I want to put it in correctly.
I'll find a way to make that L be a different font, so it's an L.
We need to push to make this,
That's what yeah.
will soon become a reality.
I know, soon as.
So why don't you guys feel free to email any edits you have, any revisions, any suggestions?
Through me.
Through Steve.
So that we avoid anyone,
Yep.
any
And we'll work on it.
41A issues.
91A.
91A, sorry. My apologies. 91A issues, just email them through me and I'll show them.
Well, you have the document.
I have
so-
the document.
Yeah.
So feel free to email
Great.
or text.
And then we'll put the ecological statement in here as well.
Thanks.
Okay. Grants, very quickly. Meredith Valley Savings Bank Fund denied our grant, saying essentially, we're overwhelmed, folks. That's all it said. This is a big year for grants.
Did you talk to them or?
No, we have their letter. And I'm simplifying, but really what they said was, they didn't say anything particular about our application that was negative. You know, good application, but it's a competitive year. So from that, what I take, and you can please do comment, is that we're going to have to knock on a lot of doors before we get a positive response. And we are already working on a separate institution. So without naming names in this hearing, we're already working on one, and there are several in town that we can work on. And Amanda graciously has been working on grants. What I would
Steve did the MVSB one. but-
Yes, yeah. I would say we'll, without any discussion necessary, we'll just keep on plugging and push.
And ask for, I mean, like, if you need people, like, to help. No, I'm not volunteering.
Watch out!
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, if there's like something where it's like, we need another person to be here for this thing, like, make sure.
Oh, for a presentation?
For whatever, I don't know, like, fundraising's not my thing.
No.
I'm just
Not my
saying,
thing
don't.
either, but
Yeah,
I'd
I'm
do
just
it.
saying, you know, you need to ask for help. I don't want you guys getting burned out on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, but, thank you. We're doing okay so far, in terms of burnout. Silent auction, Ann, you got just a few minutes.
Well, we've tentatively picked March as the date, and I think it should just be a silent auction rather than an on-site. I don't think I can handle on-site myself.
Okay.
There's a lot of detail in that. So, I mean, NPR is doing their, and PBS is doing their silent auction online. I think maybe we could do I don't know how much it would bring in, but I think that the local businesses would be would participate, giving gift baskets or services or, something.
Yeah.
I've already gotten a
Yeah.
couple things. We don't have a date yet, though.
Okay. So what do you need from this committee?
People.
Okay?
Anybody willing to knock on doors or?
The chair will knock on doors. Okay. Is there anybody else? And feel free to say no if you're uncomfortable doing this. The point of this committee is not to force people into jobs that they don't want to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, it's not.
You're sitting there.
Yes. But if you're eager, I'll assist.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And I will give you a gift card.
Okay.
One gift card. Okay. So you
It's
and I.
worth a lot.
And you and I will work
Yes,
on
I
this.
know it is.
Then I'm not going to sign up officially because I'm on overload, but I will do what I can to solicit contributions.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Wine tasting, late breaking news. Spoke with Tony Calandrello yesterday afternoon. Went into his restaurant and I sat down and I showed him my folder and I said, I called these 5 vendors that you recommended. No one has called me back. And he looked and he hemmed and he hawed and he said, don't call them back.
Okay.
Yeah. He had spoken to one vendor just that day, and he said, if they didn't mention you, then don't go forward with this.
He's a businessman.
Yes. His recommendation and mine is not to go forward with a wine tasting. However, we have the venue. Our application was approved for the town hall.
For February 13th? Is
For
that
Friday, February 13th.
So what are you doing, a dance?
auspicious?
I don't know what we're doing, but we can pivot. We can do nothing, or we can pivot. Now, talking to my chief counsel, that would be my wife, who is counsel. That's a joke. She was thinking, do you do something splashy to make a public statement? We're here. We're fundraising. Is that important? Because we'll put a fair amount of effort into whatever we do, and it may not bring us as much money as a grant that is successful with, an hour's worth of writing. So, sort of pound for pound, you'd get barred from a successful grant than you would from, 8 or 9 people doing something fun, doing something splashy, and making a lot of public relations. So,
Yeah, it's more public
Yeah.
than the individual
Yeah.
solicitations.
yeah. So that's a view on the cut point that we're facing. Should we invest in some activity? And I could work with a subcommittee. You don't have to spend time here. And you could email me your thoughts on how we could use the town hall space for an event around Valentine's Day that would earn some money. Yeah. And you could go home with that and think about it.
It's,
Jen, do you-
I have no thoughts.
No thoughts? Okay.
it's appealing.
Did you have thoughts?
Of course,
Okay.
but I will wait.
Okay.
Same with,
Okay.
yeah. But I do think we should do something.
Okay.
You're asking
What to do?
what to do. I will think about that.
Okay.
I'll do. I will
A
ask.
first-class speaker, Ken Burns. Will you come?
I love the way you think.
Yeah, that's big.
Heather
Yeah, it
Cox
is big.
Richardson
Dave-
went
Brown, would he come? Would
Yeah,
he-
Heather Cox
Dan Brown?
Richardson is a
Dan
PEA
Brown?
grad.
What?
She's popular.
Heather Cox Richardson is a PEA grad.
Yeah,
So we have to avoid being political. We do. This is a park,
right.
and it's a park for all people.
Helen
Um,
wouldn't work
yeah,
out very well.
Yeah, but someone like Ken Birds, I don't believe is a political person, or Dan Brown is, I believe, a political person. So email me your thoughts. How about that?
Sure.
Is that okay?
What should I tell the musicians?
No.
I'm going to give them, I entered into a verbal arrangement with the Avalon Quartet. Some of you may know Christine Fell. It's a group of 3, sometimes 2 musicians, and they perform here and there. $300, and none of it was in writing. And I've hired artists and musicians before. There's usually a contract. And I think I want to give them something. You know, it's $50.
Is it instrumental or do they sing?
Yeah, it's instrumental.
So it's just instrumental or do they
Uh-huh.
sing?
Just instruments.
Just instruments.
Oboe, flute.
It's classical.
I see.
You hired them for the wine tasting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. Better than, I don't know, rock band. Do I want to tell them we might do something and we'd like them, or?
Sounds like we have to email him as our ideas before we can answer that question.
Yes.
Okay, I think I'll
You can use your best
Say-
judgment.
say, yeah, I'll just say, the deal's off, but we might want you to do something, and I'm sorry. Just
Yeah.
leave it like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the record, I did notify Mary ahead of time that there might be problems with the
That we
wine
might,
tasting.
yeah, we might have
Yeah.
to
So,
pull the plug.
okay. All right, with that, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.